The projections of African Americans in mass media and how the diverse composite identities derived from such contributes to John Henryism. JMC 309. Hello, my name is Kaylin Flowers, and by means of social constructionism and content analysis, I am able to present to you the projections of African Americans in media and how the diverse composite identities precipitated from such contribute to John Henryism, which is exposure to stress stemming from racism. Presentation produces claims about the attributes and nature of a social group and is influenced by previous exposures and consumption. Said claims are deduced by the processes of social constructionism, however, they exceed discourse, relationships amongst individuals, self-related meanings, and so on, to be projected in mass media messages which are often stereotypical. This is examinable in the manner the public narratives concerning African Americans project this entire ethnic body to be composed of individuals who are lazy, unintelligent, loud and obnoxious, immoral, dangerous, destructive, violent, ghetto, thugs, and criminals, of which are all intersectionally compromising at each end of the gender spectrum. This assumed criminality, dangerousness, and unintelligence produces epic rates of discrimination stemming from potential employers, housing services, our legal system, the educational system, and police enforcement. Hence the initiation of the Black Lives Matter movement, which protests the slaughtering of African American men and women. The aforementioned narratives are not a product of recent social constructionism, despite the previous images being sourced from Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. In fact, said narratives are derived from the era of chattel enslavement, in which African Americans were projected as animalistic and inhuman to justify the physical and cognitive abuses from the colonizer. One stereotype in particular that was directly derived from chattel enslavement is that of the black mammy. The image of the mammy was based on the African American female house servant who looked after the master's children. The mammy is asexual, most often overweight, of dark complexion, maternal, and deeply religious. Synonymous to the mammy, the welfare queen narrative operates upon the false notion of the negligent black mother, who in the case of the mammy is too consumed with the master's children, and in the instance of the welfare queen, solely uses her children for economic advancement, in this instance, the continuation of welfare benefits. Jezebel served as an anomaly to the 19th century image of the true woman, defined as delicate, refined, and chaste. The Jezebel is one who is governed by her sexual desires, sexually promiscuous, one who engages in lewd acts and takes advantage of men through sex. This construct was used to justify white men's sexual abuse of black women. The matriarch is the domineering female head of the black family. Under this construct, black women are held responsible for the failure of the black family, with claims that they demoralize and emasculate black men, usually depicted with their hands on their hips and their head thrown back, asserting their independence. This also classifies black women as evil, bitchy, and stubborn. Tyler Perry's serial character Medea, formerly known as Mabel Simmons, is a composite of each black female stereotype. Simmons has an extensive criminal history and is often depicted on high-speed chases, shooting a gun, or inflicting violence on those who are non-compliant with her wishes. She has a very vulgar language and drives a Cadillac, reinforcing sentiments of the welfare queen, black criminality, aggressiveness, that of the matriarch and the Jezebel, given the fact that she can't recall who her children's fathers are. Mabel also reinforces sentiments of the mammy, given the fact that she is overweight and is often sought out for guidance. In combat to the media's one-sided reporting of instances of police brutality, and to defy stereotypes of ignorance, unintelligence, and criminality, Black men are uploading side-by-side comparisons of themselves with the question, if they gun me down, over various social media outlets, basically begging the question as if they were gunned down today, would the media project them in a positive manner? Some of the men attach some of their army photos and graduation pictures, or in a negative light, juxtaposition with pictures of them more relaxed. The images I attached, one man is in dark clothing, the other one is throwing up gang signs, basically playing on that assumption of criminality, dangerousness, aggressiveness, etc., which I find very effective and very beneficial to the Black Lives Matter movement, asserting a new positive counter narrative. In addition to the composite identities of African American men being thugs, fools, criminals, etc., one hegemonic narrative is that they are also bad and absentee fathers. And although this is reflective of critical realism, given the fact that the rates for single motherhood in African American women are of the more prevalent, this is not a reality for the entirety of this ethnic body. And unfortunately, the minority, yet again, does not experience the luxury of individuality. Marvel's protagonist, Luke Cage, is reflective of the widespread socially constructed conceptions of the Black man in America. Not only is Cage an ex-convict who is on the run, he is also perceived to be aggressive, a menace to society because he possesses supernatural abilities and has multiple run-ins with law enforcement. Although Cage is friendly, reliable, and trustworthy, merely seeking out the best interest of everyone around him, his good deeds are overshadowed by the black on black violence and the black on blue violence, which is violence against a police officer, that he is forced to precipitate, fear of detainment for a crime he never committed. John Henryism is defined as exposure to stress stemmed from racism. The presence of John Henryism is defined by the high rates of depression, hypertension in African Americans. John Henryism also has an effect on the proceedings of the amygdala, which contributes to negative self-conception, all of which is aggrandized by several factors, including harassment by law enforcement and immediate criminalization by means of performativity. I hope this presentation has conveyed the danger of a pseudo environment and the danger of a single story, more importantly. Thank you.